By any historical measure, David Bermudez has lived an extraordinary life. His work on behalf of gay rights has continued since the days of the Stonewall uprising. One day, a few years ago, he received a letter in the mail acknowledging those efforts from the President of the United States. David, it was wonderful to talk with you about your Stonewall experience all those years ago. And you eventually, as a result of being at Stonewall, you received a wonderful letter from President Obama. And would you take just a moment to describe the context for getting that letter? And then if you would share the letter with our listeners.
What happened is that, we have them for you too. I'm the only one that gives out Stonewall hats. I have hats at Stonewall. And I said, I'm going to send a couple of hats to his daughters, right? And then maybe one to him and his wife. So I did, and I wrote a little letter and told him about us. And I sent him one of our CDs of interviews that we had and all that. Oh, and I would say about a month later, I get this letter from the White House, and it says, Mr. David Lasco Bermudez says, "Dear David, thank you for your kind gifts. I was touched by your warm gesture. At Stonewall, people joined together and declared that they had seen enough injustice. While being beaten down, they stood up and challenged not only how the world saw them, but also how they saw themselves. History shows that once the spirit takes hold, little can stand in the way. So the riots gave way to the protests gave way to the movement, and the movement gave way to transformation that continues today. Please know that I am also grateful for your continued support for our shared values and vision for our nation's future. Your generosity is much appreciated, and I wish you and Bob all the best. Sincerely, President Barack Obama."